So I understood from the Lord one very simple lesson, and that is the Lord will say, yes, I am going to judge the nation. But if I'm a righteous judge, I will not let anyone be judged without giving them an opportunity to understand what I'm saying in my word with regards to Israel. And I think anyone who have a glimpse of who the Lord is, this would make sense. It's not like the Lord, the first thing he wants to do when he wakes up in the morning is to come and down with his fire on us or on the nations. But the Lord is really looking for a chance to give the nations a second chance, a last chance, whatever it takes. And I think this is really the heart message of ECI. That God would even say, and for me it became very clear, and I would always share this and say, I don't think any world leader will ever have missed an opportunity to understand what is God's truth about Israel. Also, and this is the important thing, also, when they don't have an understanding of Scripture, also when they're not a born-again believer, when they don't have a notion of who is God of Israel. And I think it was like the Lord said, well, you will have to translate everything you understand and know from Scripture to make it understandable for any leader in any position. Because if God is interested in our leaders, this is how he would want to reach out, right? It's not like when I'm here, I'm not expecting your prime minister to be here or any other prime minister for that matter. This is not the way it works, at least now. We have to go to them. We have to speak to them in a language that they understand. And also we have to humble ourselves. And we have to have the heart that Abraham had when he saw judgment coming. So the European Coalition for Israel is really about this ministry. Not, and this may sound very strange many times, it's not a ministry first and foremost to Israel. And people sometimes ask me, they say, why don't we have an office in Jerusalem and why don't we spend more time in Israel? I think, and any Israeli politician would agree with me, the problems for Israel today are in the international capitals of the world. Israel needs friends who marches in the international capitals of the world of today. Israel needs friends in the parliaments of these capitals. Israel needs friends with the government ministers, with those who are drafting legislation. And I think this was already when we started, it was a shifting of how we formulate a pro-Israel ministry mission statement. And that was to say that our calling is out to the nations. Our calling is to go where Israel has no friends or have very few friends, and to be a voice. In order to be a voice, you have to have a language. You have to communicate in a way that it's being understood. Sometimes as Christians, we want to make it very easy for ourselves. We speak in a way, or we communicate in a way that we understand what we are saying, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the recipient understands it.